Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at, well, do I really need to introduce this game? It's Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. This game is from 2015 and this is one of the Metal Gear Solid installments that we all know and we played. Now, here's the thing, when this game came out it was one of the hard-hitting titles, graphics-wise, so we finally can actually max this game out in 4K with a 4070 Ti, everything maxed out, and see how it goes. As you see, MSI Afterburner upper left, we have more than 60 frames of, well, frame rate really. So how to achieve this is you need to change a variable in a config file for the graphics settings, because this game is essentially a console port, so you have only two options: lock 30 frames or automatic, which caps out at 60. Once you change it from automatic to variable, you unlock the frame rate, and honestly it's only for the better, because even with the locked 60 frames this game sometimes dips below, despite whatever system you might have. So let's have a look what we actually have here. So we're gonna go straight for the graphics settings. We're going with a 4K native, no vertical sync, frame rate in-game shows as automatic, but it's been changed in a config file for variable. Motion blur is turned to low because it is very noticeable in this game. Depth of field is disabled because honestly the game just looks way better without it to begin with. Everything else is actually turned on extra high, including volumetric clouds. So this is where our baseline actually starts. So we're gonna continue this. I do believe we need to go and find Miller in the village. I don't know how it's gonna go, probably not gonna be too long and we're gonna die, but let's see how this game looks with everything maxed out. Let's go.
The area ahead is under total Soviet control. Miller's been captive for 10 days. Not much time left.
Weather will clear shortly.
Storm's passing.
Getting used to it? After 9 years on ice, solo infiltration of the Soviet main ground forces should be the perfect warm-up. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your iDroid. You see Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is, we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first
Marker
priority.
placed.
Got your binoculars? Or should I say, your int scope?
See the village? Straight ahead? All right, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village, the Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army.
A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dewandehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there.
It's worth a shot.
Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is.
Marker
Good.
placed.
Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way.
He can't have much left in him. I give him 3 days, tops. If we fail, and he dies, we lose our chance of revenge. But we need more intel. If you just go charging into Dewandehar, you'll be putting both your lives at risk. See what you can find out first. The Soviets have other outposts, not just the one you saw. Afghanistan is a big place. I expect you'll become quite familiar with those binoculars as you plan your next move. How and where you make it, well, that's up to you. From here on out, you're on your own. You're a legend in the eyes of those who live on the battlefield. That's why you have to handle this mission yourself. Put those 9 years behind you, and return as Big Boss. That's how Koss would want it. I'll be sending additional intel by radio. Stay sharp. Not one of Miller's bodyguards survived. And they were good. All we found on the scene were their corpses and knees. You'll be missing them. And you're his only hope of getting them back. Now go! Let the legend come back to life.
So, granted, this game is a little bit old, all things considered, about 8 years now, and I know that there's gonna be a new installment coming out for PlayStation 5, as revealed on Sony's keynote that came out a couple days back. At the same time, this game, even at the time when it came out, graphically was very demanding, and honestly I can see why. Obviously the horse has its own physics, to be fair, more than you would expect, something on the level of Red Dead Redemption, apart from the fact that we're floating on the air, which I believe is the reason of excessive frame rate. As you might imagine, older games do not take kindly for it, and that usually creates a problem like this. Now, as long as we don't have a problem with the actual NPCs in the game having the same issue, or a feature I would rather say, because, you know, if they're floating above the air or the ground, it's easier to shoot them. Then we're just gonna go in and see how it all works. So far we are way above 60 frames. GPU is not even breaking a sweat. I mean, CPU is also chilling, so I wouldn't say it's a performance issue, it's just all is good, really.
The village is crawling with enemy soldiers. Don't just go waltzing in. Start with some recon. Is there anywhere that overlooks the village? How about it? Can you see the village from there? Use the binoculars to recon the place. Look at where the enemies are stationed. Look at their gear. Take it all in. There should be a command post somewhere. See any buildings with tighter security? If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there.
Marker placed. Marker placed.
So this is more like a training
Marketplace.
location rather than an actual mission, where you kind of need to get used to the controls and the mechanics of the game, which, to be fair, is quite extensive once you play this game for prolonged periods of time. I have not, because I do have this problem of wanting to max games out, and at the same time when I was getting this game I did not have the hardware to even run it decently. Now, for those who are very familiar with Metal Gear Solid series, you already know that whatever I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be doing wrong. But at the same time, this is a performance test first and foremost, and to be fair, graphically this game does look very nice. There are some interesting things. If you shoot enemies, let's say headshots only with a weapon, the next base might actually call in, let's say, helmets. Or if you do body shots, they will start wearing Kevlar. And all those little tiny things, you know, kind of like quality of life improvements. We do have something to alleviate all this, which is essentially a quick reaction or reflex shot. So if someone actually sees us, then Snake will actually look at them and be ready to rock and roll.
Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
Now, I'm not saying this is something similar to Ghost Recon or Splinter Cell. This game has more depth than you could possibly imagine. And honestly, it's only for the best, because this is not your regular run and gun. I mean, once you actually have got more hours in, you will just see through the code of this game and how to actually do it. But at the first couple missions, I would say you just need to embrace the thing that you might simply not succeed. You know, it's not a penalty. Every mission is rated. But at the same time, it's also rewarding once you start racking in those points. Different approaches, silent takedowns, ghost or whatever. So this is something obviously that rings a bell for everyone who played Metal Gear Solid before. At the same time, slowly does it. It's kind of like the mantra of this game, really. So we'll try to do our best in regards to that, and the game mechanics does not stop there. They actually expand so greatly.
Effective. Bear in mind your weapon will be loud from now on.
Это КП, понял. Возможно, это вражеское нападение. Всем быть начеку. Конец связи.
So that's a tranq dart. Not of lethal equipment really, but hey ho.
You have arrived at your destination.
A parabolic antenna. There could be intel files of some kind in there.
Let's see if we can take this guy down. And this is why scouting is important. Now, granted, I usually go here guns blazing, but you know what? Just for the sake of argument, let's try this the regular way. Later on, you will be able to kidnap them or recruit these guys for your own benefit while building out a base. And I would say that actually where everything else really comes into play, because you will be required to manage resources for your base. And if you're thinking, you know,
Those
just
materials
collecting
are
them,
already
that's not gonna
processed.
cut it.
They should come in handy sooner or later. Why not start gathering them? picked up an intel file.
Extraction.
Now we know where Miller is.
Base.
I'm marking it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller.
So we can either clean up here or just move on.
КП, это Зоя-7. Моя машина пропала. В чем дело? Прием. Зоя-7, это КП. Нам никто об этом не докладывал. Видимо, она срочно кому-то понадобилась. Продолжайте выполнять задание пешим ходом. Конец связи. Какого черта? Всем боевым группам! Это КП! На нас напали! Всем подразделениям занять боевые позиции!
Well, we've been blown, so that's good to know. I mean, obviously you can make this mission without anyone even knowing you're there, but hey-ho. There's a good fun in a gunfight as well.
Planning to walk the whole wilderness on foot? Use your horse.
КП, это Дмитрий-1. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаюсь к последней известной позиции. Прием! Это КП, понял. Обследуйте сектор. Но осторожно. Конец связи.
Well, that was a bad decision call right there.
КП, Дмитрий-1. Враг ушел. Начинаю поиск. Это КП, понял. Не позволяйте им застать вас врасплох. Будьте начеку. Конец связи. Штаб. Это КП. Понадобился огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ. Но потеряли врага. Враг выручил.
Anytime you need advice, just give me a call.
Осторожность. Прием.
It's up to you whether to slip by enemies or take them down. Just remember that any situation can change fast. Familiarize yourself with your weapons and items while you can. You need to be able to switch between them quickly to meet any threat. Yeah. Sun's down already. It goes without saying that darkness is good for infiltration. You've reached one day. They've got Miller locked up in that town. Check your iDroid for his location. I hope to hell he's all right. He's not your average client.
Yeah, I know, we're not playing this Metal Gear Solid style, and I'm well aware of that. To be fair, we already blew our cover the moment we actually...
That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller.
There we go.
God. No more use for me, huh? Cause it's me. I'm here to get you out. Snake. They do something to your eyes? No, it's just bright as all.
Oh, we've been signed out. How cool is that?
What took you so long? We'll talk, but not here.
You've secured the target. I'll send the chopper to get you out. Make your way to the RV.
It's been updated.
Doesn't slow you down one bit. Not so heavy anymore, right?
Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выкройте врага. Конец связи. Всем боевым группам, это КП. На нас напали. Всем подразделениям занять боевые позиции.
You sure about this? The boss is on his way.
КП ДЗ-1. Потерял противника. This is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
I think I made a mistake. Well, then again, this is semi-scripted, because we're not gonna get on that chopper right there. But you already probably know that, right?
Ahab, do you read me? This is P-Quad. There's a gas covering the LZ. We can't land. Pulling back.
It's dead.
Boss, watch out. It's the skulls. Don't let them find us.
Boss, whatever that mist is, it's all around you. We can't see through it. I'm changing the RV so it's outside the mist. Run, boss! You've got to lose him!
Support helicopter has arrived.
The mist is cleared, and it looks like they're gone.
Those things. That's the unit that attacked us before. They came at us real fast in the same kind of mist. I bet survivors from 9 years ago were wiped out in minutes.
All right.
I don't know what they want.
Another end.
That's them. No mistake.
An obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal. Gaining altitude.
Buddy departing area of operations. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
So we have got the shameful B rank, which, you know, to be fair, is not the highest, obviously. And we did a lot of bad things, as you can see. So, obviously we raised 3 combat alerts, we've taken 11 hits, and the accuracy is 35%. So, you know, it's a learning curve for everyone. At the same time, I would say this is the game that you probably should replay, or if you never played it, give it a go. It's a long game, it's definitely not one of your 8-hour adventures, we're talking about 50 plus hours, plus a lot of number crunching later on in the game, but you do have a pretty decent storyline, good characters and everything else in between. If you are a seasoned Metal Gear Solid player, then I'll leave the opinion to you, because for me, I'm not, so I think this game is pretty good, and as you can see, performance is just amazing. So anyway, on this note, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Over and out.